morning, everybody. Welcome to the final day of the Spring Spectacular. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike Delisio.
Yeah, so a couple things. First, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, the World Series of Board Gaming. They went home yesterday because we whooped them in all the games.
Wow, wow.
They lost everything they attempted to play.
That is
and
not
I do
true.
say attempted.
Mike did try to make them lose a co-op game.
I did my best, but Cliff still pulled it out for the team.
We were glad they were here, and you can meet them and us at the World Series of Board Gaming coming later this year. Also, this is the last time the news will be done in this studio.
Wow, at
And
least
this
I'm
is
here
the
for the
second
final
last
of this
time.
studio.
You'll be here for the final thing in this studio later today for our game show. This is your last time? Are you sad?
No.
All right. Well, anyway, let's get to the news, folks, for today. So the first piece of news, real briefly, we don't know enough about it yet with the tariffs
That's very
that
true,
were
yeah.
announced yesterday, other than they are wreaking havoc in waves through the board game industry. We try not to get very political on this show at all, but there's no question that the very high tariffs that were announced yesterday have caused consternation and dismay across the board game industry. And I'm not talking a couple companies. I'm talking all of them.
Yeah, particularly the China tariffs. I mean, that's the one that affects the board game industry the most, and
Right.
that is the highest tariff. So it's
Right,
it's-
and how that will affect things and change in his future, we will wait to see, and that's all I know. But there you go. All right, well, let's continue with sad, happy news. So
Well,
this is with Corey Kineska.
Yeah, I think he wanted to do this move, so I don't think it's sad.
Well, I meant
It's sad for us as
right? So
gamers,
Corey
yes.
Kineska is one of the most famous designers in the board game business. A few years ago, he started a company called Unexpected Games. This was a division of Asmodee. And he did weird, unusual games. Voices in My Head, 3,000 Scoundrels. Even The Mandalorian Adventures was kind of a different take on that.
Yeah.
But before that, he was the second main designer. Well, he was the main designer, actually, at Fantasy Flight
yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Yes.
pick a Fantasy Flight game, there's a good chance Corey Kineska was involved in the designing of it somehow.
Design or development
Yeah.
or
Yes.
something, yeah.
So it says he's been doing this for 19 years. Well, now he's essentially retiring, but doing something else. We don't know what it is because he hasn't announced it yet, but it's not board games.
Right.
That's what he said. He's doing something else. He's excited. There is still a game coming from him in 2026 that he says is his best one yet.
It's not even a game. It's more like a system, apparently a new game system that he designed. And that, to me, sounds like something that could be iterated on. Like, I'm assuming he's designed the first game in that system.
Yeah, that's
maybe-
exciting. I mean, he was, or is, I'm talking about Ogie Past.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant guy, and he has a thumbprint on his games. You know, there's something about Corey Kineska games that
You
you're
see a
like, yeah,
thumbprint
this
right
is
there, right?
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
he's
see
showing
it.
you the thumbprint.
So, like you said, this is somewhat sad news that he is no longer going to be putting out game designs, but of course we wish him all the best in
Absolutely.
whatever the new endeavor is, and excited to see what it is.
Yeah.
Also stepping down a bit, Dr. Stephen Finn, although he's not stepping out of board game design completely, but he's stopping publishing physical games.
Right.
And instead he's going to just be doing game books, like print and play. He wouldn't be the first. I know Knizia has done a game book, and other people have done these game
Sid
books.
Saxon and but usually there was an older school thing. Now he hasn't said he's going to stop producing physical games. Just he's not going to be doing them under his Dr. Finn's games.
That's true. I
He's
do know
still-
he shops his games
Yeah.
around to
He's
other
done
publishers.
several games with Pencil
Right.
First. Actually, many of his bigger titles have been with Pencil First lately. I mean,
Right.
other than Biblios, which was yellow and
And he had some success very recently with Cities that he co-designed with
Right.
Phil Walker Harding,
That's
I
right.
believe.
Yep.
So, hopefully that'll open up some doors to pitch games to other companies
Right.
and get his games out that way. I think he was feeling the pressure of crowdfunding these games and
Right.
then having a hard time moving the excess copies that he was able to print.
He was selling them on his website, and honestly, I mean, we're not doing sales for Dr. Finn, but if you are interested, it would behoove you to take a look at his website right now.
Sure.
That's all I'm going to say there.
He says he's using his Amazon KDP service. A print
That's like
on
a
demand.
print on demand
It's
thing?
self-publishing.
Have you used this before?
My wife uses it a lot.
Oh, okay.
She does like journals and things like that, and she prints them off of there.
This first one is actually going to be coming to a Kickstarter campaign, April 25. Dr. Finn's solo strategy and word game books. So, all right.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that his style of games would work for something like that.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
All right, next. Again, as things people aren't doing anymore. So, Alley Cat is no longer doing retail editions of their games. So they're moving to simply just crowdfunding. This is their 2025 release, Baghdad, the City of Peace. They have a couple other games that they're coming out with that I'm excited about too.
Yeah.
I think
the issue with Baghdad is that they had been telling people, hey, you know, retail edition is coming, and now it's not coming.
Oh, it's not coming at all. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure some people are going to be disappointed with that, but I think sometimes, you know, publishers sometimes have to make difficult decisions, and it's not going to always be popular, you know, but if it's for the viability of their company, you know, and I don't know.
I think we're going to see more and more of this happen you're going to see a lot of changes over the next couple of years. So who knows how they're going to affect the industry.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a new Brazilian publisher, Bocaneros Jogos, and they are probably best known because they're the first company to produce Comic Hunters until Mike DeLisio found it and blabbed about it, making the company sell out, and it finally came to America like 4 years later.
It's crazy.
But they got some more games coming here. Crab Bucket, Pool Party. Although I thought that's a poo party for a second.
No, it's Pool Party for sure.
Frost Shelter and Amazoom. Don't like that name, but
yeah. So these were done on a Brazilian crowdfunding platform
called Meeple Starter.
Yeah, BR maybe. And apparently it did very well. Mm-hmm. And the hope is that because of the success of Comic Hunters, that potentially, I think they're actively looking for localizations, you know, for some or all of these games to become localized in English-speaking countries, you know, perhaps Asian-speaking countries. Who knows? I'm sure they would love to have them in as many languages as possible. But yeah, it's interesting. You know, they look like games that could potentially have some wide appeal. I don't know a whole lot about them. I mean, they did have kind of an English language mock-up of the page that we were able to look at. So I don't know. I mean, we've had some really good luck with Brazilian games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Video Game Champion and World Wonders and Comic Hunters. There's some brilliant designers down there, obviously. So I'm all for it.
Lego announces Brick Like This. So
follow up to Monkey Palace.
Yeah. So just as a side note, I saw across a lot of my feeds, it was like, hey, have you seen Lego Katana, Lego Ticket to Ride, and Lego thing? Those are not actual Lego products.
No.
Those are things that people make. They put them on the Lego website, and if they get a ton of people to say they want it, Lego will make it an official set.
Oh, okay.
It's like they're all homebrewed things.
None of them have made that thing yet. They looked cool, but those are not official yet. I don't know if they will be.
Right.
Anyway, this is a far different looking game, and man, I can't tell how much I hate that box. It looks like a game that you would buy at a discount educational store.
It's just so interesting because, first of all, it's a reimplementation of that Block Party or Brick Party game, but
which was their most popular game, to be fair.
Sure. But to me, it just seems like an odd move because it's like, hey, we're coming into the hobby game market. Here's Monkey Palace, this game that got really pretty wide acclaim in the hobby board game space. We're going to follow, and it was their most hobby game feeling game they put out by far.
Loopy said it looks like it should have crackers in it.
Right.
I'm not arguing that.
And we're going to follow it up relatively quickly with a game that looks like what the old Lego games kind of felt like, which were more mass markety and, you know. So I just think it's an interesting, they had just established themselves, you know, and I wonder if this is going to help or hurt or be neutral. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, that for all I know, they'll sell a gajillion of this one.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like it could sell well.
You played Brick Party, right? I thought you reviewed it.
Oh, that wasn't a Lego game.
No.
Sorry, let me rephrase it. Now I have no interest in this game.
Like I think you reviewed this game.
I didn't really like Brick Party, if I remember correctly. Oh, no. I like Brick Party. Sorry.
Did you?
There's so many of these different games.
Right.
Brick Party was where the other person is telling you what to build.
Okay.
They have the shape. They're telling you to build it.
So it's not a
That's
bad
what
game,
it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a party game. Some
It's
kind
a
of
party
party.
game.
Like,
It's definitely a
put
party
that
game.
on top of that.
I was very amused by it, but also it's very situational.
Okay.
Like cons and other places where people are stupid.
Okay.
Halo. New faction for Halo, the Banished.
It's for their
Halo
tactical
Flashpoint.
minis game, yeah.
Yeah, so for the 1% of our viewers who care about this, there you go. Although I will applaud that paint job. That's a very good paint job there.
I wonder if the
In
Venn
that picture.
diagram's a little higher than that. I mean, I know we're
For
focusing on hobby
Halo,
board games,
Flashpoint
but
miniatures, I'm going to say it's very small.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's not of interest to me, but I don't know. It's a pretty big IP.
Halo,
I've never heard of
Halo,
it. I've never
Halo.
heard of the. I mean, I obviously not Halo. Halo Flashpoint.
Oh, I
I've never
haven't
heard of.
either, but yeah.
This is not a new miniatures game. This is a miniatures game getting another faction.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
In more interesting news, and I'm very interested in this one, this is Class of 89. This is the next game from Paverson Games. Designer Corey Jordan, who did a game called Sand Art. Anyway, their first two games, Distilled, and then Luthier, which is coming out this year. I'm very excited about that one. Now their third game, Class of 89. Is back. Big dreams, big hair, and ultimate high school send-off. 60 to 90 minutes, medium weight.
That is a fantastic cover.
It's a great cover,
You're
obviously,
the
yeah.
president of the yearbook club.
Right.
Okay.
And you're making the yearbook there. And
The
yeah,
gnarliest yearbook, I believe, is what it says.
I do think that they said, you'd have to double check me on here. I think they said this is going direct to retail, which would be a first.
Okay.
And that it's late 2026. So we're getting a very early
Oh my gosh.
update on
Okay.
Yes, straight to retail, late 26. I'm sorry. It says, be on the lookout for a Fly straight to retail release. of
Yeah.
Class of 89. And
Superfly.
I don't know. I was 13 in this year. I don't remember 89 as much as I would like.
89, I was... that's my graduating year.
You should not have had to think that hard
For
about
some
that,
reason, I
man.
always think it was in 91. No, but it was 89. I was 18. That was the year I graduated. So I
this
wonder,
is your class of 89.
Yeah, I wonder if Corey Jordan was also class of 89.
Corey, if you need, like, advice about that year,
You
Mike
can hook
is
me
here.
up. Let me
Although
tell
he
you
doesn't
what.
remember that much about it since he didn't remember he graduated.
No,
that year.
it was because of math. That was the pausing. Not I have memory issues,
You
but I
didn't
have
say
more of a
like
math
Class of
issue.
89 so much it's in your head?
No.
Oh.
What do I
No,
care?
no,
I know,
they were
I'm 94,
cool back
baby. I
then.
remember that.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, they were cool in the 80s.
But I
Tom.
did graduate in the 80s, which is kind of cool. Barely. But
That's true.
Yeah. So that is cool. And you know, I was all over the yearbook.
You graduated the year Princess Bride came out. That's interesting.
Inconceivable.
All right. Garden Rush. This is coming from Space Cowboys, and I like a lot of stuff they do, except for using the back of the box as a scoring thing, which I hate, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Here you're planning veggie tokens in various patterns. This is coming to retail on the 18th of this month.
I was waiting for Z to comment.
Man,
this looks like it's
rough.
using. It looks like it's using the inside of the box or something as the board because it's got a slight thing on the
yeah.
edge.
Oh, no.
And I knew that was
whatever.
gonna
That's
cause Z to
fine.
go
I don't
apoplectic.
care. It looks big enough that it'll lay kind of flat. But
All right.
no, I'm more commenting on just how incredibly generic this looks. This looks like the app of the week. It's awful. It looks so disposable. That cover, that artwork, the
cover,
whole thing.
The cover I agree with, but I don't know. I think that the printing on that burlap bag, I think, gives it a little bit of character. I don't think it's that generic. I don't like the cover at all. And I don't like that kind of depiction of, I don't know, it looks a little Garbage Pail Kidsy to me on the cover. But the board and everything, to me, it looks okay. It doesn't like repel me.
It is a two-player game.
I hate
and it's going to cost $25 retail. That's
Okay.
pretty inexpensive.
That's good.
They just
Okay.
didn't have time to pay a good artist. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad artwork. It's just
It looks
That
like a
artwork is really overplayed right now.
Rip-off of, like Romeo and Juliet, which already didn't look
It
great.
is a bit played. It's definitely got a little bit of that almost, I don't know. It's not quite Cupheady, but it's adjacent. And yeah, I don't know.
Let's jump to Magic the Gathering here. They're talking a little bit. There's a Deadpool set. Of course, they announced this on April Fool's Day. Ha, ha, ha.
And it was true.
But it's also true, right? Which is always hard to tell from a Deadpool thing. I'm excited, sort of, about the Magic the Gathering
Marvel stuff.
Marvel stuff, except for this. I don't even want to look at those cards because I just hate the whole Deadpool break the fourth wall sort of nonsense. It's
Well,
really
this is a
nuts.
secret layer, anyway,
Right, so I was
isn't
going to
it?
say, so speak to me as if I'm somebody that has zero interest in Magic and knows nothing about it. What is a secret lair? What does
Ooh.
that even mean?
A secret lair is Magic the Gathering's way to get more money out of people
Checks out.
by selling just these 5 cards for an exorbitant price, like $40. I'm
for
not
5
kidding.
cards.
And then they'll package it, send it to your mom's house, where she'll rip the box open and ruin the value, as has happened to Ketty. Remember that? He told us?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
She
that.
got the box.
Yeah.
Not only did she open the brown box, she ripped the box at the cards and destroyed the value. And he was like, Bob, why? And she was like, what was in a box?
That's fantastic.
I said, stop sending stuff to your mom's house.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, yeah, it's. I want to now. I remember there was something like this with like the ponies last year, right?
They do this all the
It's
time.
on
It's their
Godzilla.
way.
It was the one that Kenny got. The
okay.
ponies, alternate artwork.
I gotcha.
It's like a special, very small engagement kind of thing. It'll sell out immediately, and
Right.
people will, refresh like crazy to try to throw $40, $50 at.
Because some of them go up in
Hasbro.
value a ton. I think
Yeah.
the Godzilla ones did.
Sure.
Most of them don't because they get into speculation. The problem is almost all of them are not even legal.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm assuming if it's Deadpool, it's even more likely it's not going to be legal. Because
The only thing
they
I'll say
always-
about this is it might be similar to Unglued.
I guess. Yeah, I have no idea.
didn't they say it was like $40 if you wanted the foil version or
No,
something?
the 40.
It's
the foil
more if
version
it's
is
foiled.
50.
Yeah.
It's 40.
$10 a card. Wow.
Well, you know what you're getting, I suppose. All right.
Yeah, you're getting something.
All right. So Riot Games is making
Oh.
a trading
I
card
thought this
game.
might get Z's attention.
Oh,
This is League of Legends TCG. This is being developed by UVS, which sounds like something you protect your skin with.
I was going in a different direction.
yeah.
Sounds like
yeah,
something you need
yeah.
an antibiotic for. Okay.
UVS?
yeah.
Oh, that's I know what you're thinking, but okay, that's
I don't know what UVS
that's
is or who.
UTS.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, UVS. Anyway, terrible name. This was announced in February 2025, I guess, but then they renamed it. Now it's Riftbound League of Legends trading card game.
Okay.
It's a 1v1, also 2v. Okay, whatever. It has all the typical stuff. And it features characters such as Victor, Jinx, Lee Sin, and more. And they're going to they already have the first booster set, Riftbound Origins. Packs will come with 14 cards, and there will be 300 cards total.
Good.
And there will be 56 card pre-constructed decks, which we themed around Victor, Jinx, and Lee Sin for the first set.
That's good.
And then the Proving Ground Star set's a box set with 2 to 4 players, with starter decks for Lux, Annie, Master Yi, and Garen. This is all coming in October. So I'm
October,
curious.
okay.
This is a company that can make a splash in the TCG market, but is the game good? Who knows?
League of Legends has a pretty vociferous fan base, right? I'm already seeing
A
Andrew.
what?
Vociferous. Andrew is saying
Like that
the-
means they're loud?
Yes, they're very well. Andrew is saying here, Dice Tower Andrew, that the community is not happy about this existing. I have no context for that. I don't know
Why
why.
would they care?
Why would they not be happy about it
I don't know.
existing?
I'm not vociferous about this stuff, but they are. They kind of abandoned the digital game. Oh,
Whatever. You'll get over it. It happens all the time.
Right.
All right.
I wonder if Andrew is speaking for them or if he's speaking for himself. Andrew?
All right. Legendary Game of Thrones deck building game. It's a little late, but
Whoa.
it's here, you know?
It is a little late.
I mean, this is like
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Right.
I
I
guess that they're
procrastinate
going.
and do things.
Maybe the IP is cheap enough now they can afford it.
That
that
is
must
true.
be
That
it.
must
They
be
definitely. None of these were timely, to be fair.
Right,
Like they
that's
came
true.
out with the Matrix long after the Matrix was kind of like done.
Oh, they just did James Bond.
James
Right,
Bond.
right,
Yeah,
right,
it's
yeah.
like, all right, cool. So, Game of Thrones, why not?
George R.R. Martin's handing out this IP like
Probably.
yeah, $20, good.
I assume so.
It says ages 17 plus on this one.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
like,
going to make
It's-
it mature. They're
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's got, you can certainly go that way if you choose to do
It's weird
so.
because the show is so family friendly. I wonder
is.
what they're,
It is actually. I just realized this is legendary. It's not Legendary Encounters.
You're right.
Yeah, this is not cooperative. This is competitive, it says. It
Oh,
says
so you
there,
must
right?
play one of the houses,
Yeah.
trying to, win the throne, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
When you play the game, you either win or you die, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're Baratheon. Yeah, I play my Baratheon.
I want to be Greyjoy.
That's right. I'm going to Stark you right here.
You're about to get starked in an
You're
alley.
getting Starked.
Let's move on.
Yep.
All right. So Becca Scott and Dropout just announced a new show called Parlor Room. I saw the trailer for it, which if you really like flashing lights and people screaming at each other while they play board games for a minute straight, and I say that with some soft jesting because it's just not me. But Dropout's pretty big these days. It's growing. Dropout is the reincarnation of College Humor.
Okay.
Yeah, I had not
and
heard.
lately, they have a subscription service, which I've actually paid for and done because they have some pretty interesting shows. Sam Reich's Game Changers is a good show. There's Let's Make Some Noise. And they do a lot of D&D shows. So this is going to, it's going to be behind a paywall, right? But the Dropout audience is pretty huge.
Okay.
So it looks like she's bringing in a bunch of comedians, which Mike said he knew none of them.
I had not heard
But
any.
if you've watched Dropout at all, you'll know all of them because it's that same cast of characters.
Yeah.
And then we playing games is the idea?
Apparently, someone brings their favorite game and everyone plays it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw Cosmic Encounter in the trailer. They showed, what did they have? The Wavelength was one of the games.
I assume that this is that's kind of the setup, right?
Sure,
If someone
sure,
brings
yeah.
a game, but it's going to be something that's
It's sponsored.
tailored.
Talisman
for,
Games.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Blood in the Clock Tower, Farkle. What on earth?
LCR.
Taboo.
No. Okay.
They mentioned some of them. Brennan Lee Mulligan might be well known amongst these different people. I don't know most of the names here. Jacob Wysocki, Lou Wilson, etc. So, again, most of these people they're just pulling from their other shows.
Yeah.
From what I understand, her husband is one of the producers of Dropout, so this makes sense.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
cool.
It looks a little like Tabletop, but I'm not sure. It didn't show the confessionals in the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Which
makes
was a big
sense.
part of Tabletop, that
Sure.
whole confessional type thing.
Yeah, that was definitely a big part of it.
Cool.
Someone asked if this will be on YouTube. No, it's going to be on Dropout, but I'm sure that shorts from this
I
will be
bet.
available. And if they follow the other Dropout shows, most Dropout shows, the first couple episodes are on YouTube, so they can hook you.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Right.
First
Makes
one's
sense.
free.
If you ever wonder what it's like, and this is launching April 18th. All right.
That's very soon.
So a couple days ago, April 1st, there was 8,000 pieces of stupid fake news all over the internet, but some of it was not fake. So there's a couple things here that are real. So first was this one. Chip Theory Games, you just saw Mike play
Yes.
this game yesterday.
I
the
feel
Elder
like I
Scrolls
didn't play
game.
it though. There was no cheese.
What is this? This is a real thing?
It's a real thing.
You get like a booster pack of cheeses?
20 cheeses from the Elder Scrolls Online. And what's nice about this is that you have a limit of items that you can kind of have, and so what this is you can have the cheese, and you can eat it too. You can get another card, so it kind of, I don't know, it's just silly. It's very much like they did the same thing. They've done these kind of real April Fool's things. Like I think it was either last year or the year before where they had the child. Basically, they didn't call it that, but it was like Baby Yoda Gearlock, and it was an actual promo character you can play for Too Many Bones.
Okay. I like that, honestly.
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
much rather you announce something dumb
Yeah,
and then, sure, you can make it available.
exactly right.
Part of me wants to get up on my soapbox and be like, no, Arkham Horror is stupid. There shouldn't be just Arkham Horror characters replaced with dog heads. But also, if you want that, it doesn't really affect me.
Right,
you know what I
exactly,
mean? I'm not going to play
exactly.
with it. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah.
Cheesy boo-boo.
And these
Well,
are
there's 20 cheeses.
yes,
19 of them, they're all different looking, but 19 are the exact same. They're all just, you get some healing,
right.
and then that's it. Or I guess you get clogged up, it says. Anyway, there is one
Yeah,
legendary
it
cheese.
happens.
It's
Yes,
that
the
one, the
shimmering-
the
shivering.
shivering.
Oh, I thought it was shimmering.
The
Okay.
shivering cheese.
Like the Shivering
The
Isles.
heal used for an extra hit point.
Oh, that's
That's
legit.
tremendously good cheese.
That's legit.
All right. Now, let's talk about Roxley Games. So Roxley did an announcement last week where they talked about Dice Throne.
Okay.
Yeah,
a
the
video. So
future- the
they
future of
talked
Dice
about the future Dice Throne. So the first thing they announced, which I don't have a slide here for, but they said essentially It was taking so long and so much work to get these IP branded people out, i.e. the Marvel stuff, that they're just going to do their own stuff from now on.
Yeah.
They're done with Marvel. They're also going to be making these single hero packs. So you buy just a single hero.
Okay.
You'll get everything in it. It looks like, since these are already released, looks like they're going to be redoing all the old ones, and you can buy these single packs. They said there's a lot of reasons they want to do this. One, they can release them, they can do their big Kickstarter, but in the meantime, you can buy these 2 single heroes.
Okay.
And also at a tournament, hey, there's a special tournament. Now we have a pack there. And if you like these, they're going to make a box that you can then put them in. You can even slide in on the side of the box which heroes you have in that box.
It'll hold 4 single heroes with a magnetic lid closure.
Oh, it has a little sliver of
you
artwork.
can slide those in and
That's
out.
pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, these are the ones I brought to the tournament. And speaking of that, they talked a lot about their organized play. Apparently, this is a thing.
I think
for Dice Throne.
I don't even think it's started yet, right?
No, they've been doing organized play.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Well, if you remember, they did the tournament at World Series of Board Gaming.
That's right. Okay.
Which ties into all of it.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And the other thing they're doing, which I think is pretty cool, is they're doing a family. What they call this? A starter pack.
They called it like an essentials
First
line.
spawn.
Right. They said
says.
internally they've been calling it like essentials because I think underneath it says
First spawn.
I understand. It says essential edition somewhere on there. I thought.
No,
or
if it was
something
there,
like
I could read it.
that. Okay.
So
we'll find
anyway,
out.
this is not going to have all the cool gizmos. Maybe I think they like the.
Did they pick like 4 really basic ones?
Yeah, but I think it's not as nice.
I think it's less about complexity and more about price point. They're like, we'd like to have like a $30 box with 4 characters.
Not only that, when they showed this in the video, they were showing a bunch of pictures and stuff, but they showed a bunch of very kiddish looking pictures, which makes me wonder if they're going to make a kid version.
I could see that.
Okay.
So,
It's a game that if you simplified the card interactions and stuff, it's really, it's based off of a Yahtzee. It's
There's just too much other timing stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the rule
make
book
it
has
closer
like.
to King of Tokyo, right?
Yeah, if they could do that and have a spin-off game, I think it could be really, really popular. Yeah.
Right.
This already is tremendously popular.
It is.
Also, is that X-Men stuff just not out yet?
They
the X-Men
brought that
stuff
up,
is
actually,
being
yeah.
delivered now. It was delayed tremendously, which is, I think a lot of it was IP problems. And they
Okay,
were kind of
let's
like,
see.
yeah, we like to get stuff out faster.
Yeah, that's
People don't like to back it and then wait a year to get it. So they were talking about how ways they can fix that.
They're done with that. Okay.
They also announced on April Fool's Day Slam Throne, which is, again, a real product. Pogs are back, baby.
Yeah. These are getting released at Gen Con this year.
Pogs were huge when I was a teenager. I never understood their appeal then, but now I still don't understand their appeal. It's not fun. You just
So
throw
explain
these
this to
discs.
me like I'm like Mike with Magic the Gathering.
Right.
What is this?
Essentially, you're throwing them down on the table, trying to flip other ones over.
What's a Pog?
It's like a
It's a cardboard coin,
like a
It's made out of cardboard.
usually.
It's not plastic.
The original ones were.
No, they're cardboard.
Yeah.
Thick
And I
cardboard.
think
I'm
these are
guessing.
thick cardboard too. It looks like, yeah.
You throw it out to try to get the other one to flip.
Yes, you're slamming on the table as hard as you can.
Oh, I'm allergic to them. I
And
think.
part of the appeal, I think, is that a lot of people would play Pogs where if you won, you'd keep the other player's Pogs.
Yes, it was a collector's thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember most of them even having any special abilities or anything. That was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You collected them. It was a thing to do. It was very brief, but it was a huge furor. It was probably in '89 when Mike was graduating. I don't know when.
Yeah,
Pogs came out, but it
was-
feels like it was in that area somewhere.
It was like a generation-ish behind me or a half generation behind me. Like, I never played
Class
Pogs.
of '79.
Right.
I didn't
guess
either. My younger siblings played with
Yeah.
them, but I was like, these are stupid. Mostly because my parents wouldn't buy them for me. But you know,
They
Yeah.
said the slamming ones are metal and the other ones are. So the one you actually slam down is metal, whereas the other ones are cardboard.
okay.
The Slammers.
Yep. And they do basically on this page because you can go to. There's a page for Slam Throne. You can pre-order it, I guess, and you can read the rules, and it's going to be available at Gen Con this year.
All right.
But they basically say we're not responsible for damage to your table. You probably should play this on a playmat.
Which they sell.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Cool. Interesting.
Alrighty, well, that is it today, folks, for the news. We will be taking a very short break here. We'll be back at 10, and we're going to be playing through 3 different games today. We also have, 4, I apologize, because we're playing 2 card games.
That's true, 2 card games, yeah.
So come back for that. We also have a couple more top 10 lists sprinkled throughout today. And then at 2 o'clock, we're doing a game show. You can play along at home and see if you can beat Mike Delisio.
You got a really good chance, is all I'm saying, folks. You got a chance.
I'm not arguing that. You do have a chance.
Good chance.
In fact, you probably you could not show up and you might.
All right,
No,
well,
no,
let me
you
put it
should
to you.
show
Now
up.
I'm coming to play now. I wasn't serious about that until right now.
Time to sharpen up your paw
You need
game.
to study. Study. Basically, I need you to read the entire internet.
Study, read, I'm out.
All righty. Thanks much for watching. I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Mike Delisio.
See you in a few minutes.
Whoop.